The engine is starting up. 3, 2,
putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
What is up, all you freaks out there? This is Ryan.
This is Rhonda.
And happy day after Christmas. I tell you what, the whole Christmas schedule
Yeah.
really kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
I actually went to the R.I.F.T page and I was watching some of Howie's old promos back in the day. We used to went to the Selma Mansion a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at our show that was on there, for tonight. It was like December 26th. I'm like, oh crap, I got the wrong day. So I went to go change it. Like, wait a second.
It's right.
Man.
And the funny thing is, of course, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day both feel like Sundays. So then it's like you really don't know what day it is. I think that's probably what it is. It felt like a Sunday, so we thought we had a day in between before Tuesday.
Yeah, because we hear about Jesus a lot on Sundays. We don't usually hear much about him in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of threw us off a little bit. And hopefully you won't have the same problem next week when we're back on here next Thursday night.
Yep.
For our New Year's special, which is going to be fun. Or 2 days after New Year's special, or a day after New Year's special.
It's a day after. See?
Yes, right.
This is why adults shouldn't be allowed to have like days off and stuff, because we don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, what time of day is it? What are we doing? I don't know.
Well, don't even talk to me about COVID.
I know.
God. Those days just ran together.
I bet.
Man. So, and of course, it's understandable that we would not, know what day it is, because it is National Candy Cane Day.
The day after Christmas is Candy Cane
Day? It is.
Day?
Yes, it is National Candy Cane Day. So, I know you're probably enjoying your candy canes yesterday, but now you have an extra day to enjoy the goodness of candy canes. And I took the liberty of going out, and not really going out. I didn't really go anywhere. Went on the internet and I looked up some weird candy cane flavors
Ooh.
that you can buy.
There are some strange ones. I mean, there's different ones that aren't necessarily strange because they've got like Starburst flavored ones and spearmint ones and
No, these aren't Starburst or spearmint flavored candy canes.
what are these?
These are Caesar salad,
Ew.
clams, sour cream and onion,
Ugh.
butter. I see you, Jim. I'll get you on there. Let's see here. Sardines, brisket, ketchup, possum, which I have no idea how you get a possum flavored candy cane, and gravy.
Gross to all of that.
So you know what we're doing next Christmas?
We are
You're
not
doing a
trying
candy
any
cane.
of those.
Candy cane taste test.
No, we're not. I call butter. I call them some butter. You can try the rest.
You want to try the sardine
No,
flavored candy
no
canes?
sardines and no clams.
I'll get RJ to try them with me. He'll eat the fish.
I might would try gravy, but I don't know.
Gravy might be good.
Or still, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
And so, how was your Christmas?
It was good. It was good. I'm glad we were beyond that season, though. We're kind of in that fun season between Christmas and New Year's. So I'm excited about that.
I do. I don't know. I mean, I've always felt really depressed after Christmas. When it was like the week between Christmas and New Year's has always been kind of like for me. So I don't know. Maybe because back when I was a kid, my grandparents would come down for Christmas. Everyone's all excited, and then after Christmas, everyone starts going home, and
and it's back to normal.
Getting back to normal and stuff. So, but I mean, maybe I'll turn over a new leaf, and I will enjoy this time of year.
I tell you what, it was nice to go into the grocery store today, and it wasn't mass chaos.
Oh man, that's always true. It's always
but
good.
There wasn't. The bad thing is there was nothing there. That was what was weird because so many, the grocery stores are closed. Were closed for Christmas, so I guess they had gotten rid of some stock, and so it was like, oh gosh, okay. So the shelves were a little bare, but there was not 100 million people in there, so that was nice.
That's always a good thing. I'm gonna take RJ real quick to use the bathroom.
Okay.
So you read the cards, and I'll be right back.
I will. All right, y'all. Let's see what we all need to know as we're going into the new year coming up as a collective. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right. Interesting card. I think I might actually pull another one with it. Okay. So the first card I got, whoops, let me get it where it goes, makes sense, is Listening for Truth. And I think to me, when I look at this one and I feel into it, it feels like we all just need to remember to not believe so much or listen too much to the excess noise around us. What you need to know and what your truth is truly lies within you and in that stillness. So I think rather than getting caught up in the chaos and the camaraderie and things that happen around the holidays, we're all really, really busy. Maybe take some time in the next week between now and New Year's to just kind of sit with yourself, meditate, go in a quiet space and listen for what your truth may be or what it is Spirit feels like you need to know going into the new year. I pulled a second card on that because I felt like there was something more to it. And the next card I got is New Birth Guarded Vigilantly. And I find this an interesting card because, I'm sorry, my ring lights were flaring up on it. I found this an interesting card because it's something that I've been doing a little bit recently. A new birth guarded vigilantly. I think everybody looks at the new year as a time for setting new goals and starting a new book or new chapter of whatever it is you're working on. I think but so it really is a new birth coming into this season. But I also feel like the guarded vigilantly makes a lot of sense for me. And it's something I've actually been kind of leaning into, I'd say in the last 6 weeks, is sometimes I get that goals are good to speak out to people and to friends to keep yourself held accountable, for accountability reasons. But I also think there's a lot of beauty in guarding those things that you're working on and those goals and those priorities you set to yourself to help, like with the first card, tune out the noise and listen to your truth. Because sometimes when we tell people what we're working on or what our goals are or what we're trying to accomplish, then they have questions and they're asking things and we can lose focus answering the questions, or like them asking how far along you've come with XYZ that you're working on. And we can kind of lose focus because we're so busy answering their questions. So I don't feel like there's anything wrong with keeping some things private that you're working on that maybe you're manifesting or bringing to light, or projects you're working on and things of that nature. It's not that so much that you're being secretive, but sometimes when things are brand new, you need to keep them personal.
That's right. Nothing wrong with keeping stuff to yourself until you're ready to share it with the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some good advice for the new year.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and grab everybody really quick. Sorry, we have not said hello to everybody, so I'm going to do a quick before we bring on our guest. So hello, Michelle Wilfong and Amy Colum, and who else we got?
Lois is in the house.
Howie and Lois and Renee and Emily and Kason and Chris Fox Roden and Sindra. And Carmen. Thank you, Carmen, for joining us. Keith Van Allen, welcome. Richard. I think. Have I got everybody? I've got everybody. Thank you.
I think so. Yes, thank you. Renee's here. Carmen is in the house. We say Carmen?
Yes.
Chris Fox.
Yes.
Awesome. Guys, and do me a favor, go to the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show page and like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Of course, if you're on the ref page, like and subscribe here as well. Just hit that like button, and we really appreciate it. I'm gonna give a shout out to I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna try to give a paranormal shout out. Do go in the alphabet and give a shout out to each letter. Pick something. Like this week is Appalachian Ghost Girls podcast.
Nice.
Join Jen and Coco on select Thursdays, not every Thursday, select Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time as they talk all things creepy in Appalachian. Comedy is always welcome.
Nice.
So go join when you're not listening to the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show, which shouldn't interfere because it's Thursday and we were usually on Tuesday. But 7 o'clock on select Thursdays. Check out the Appalachian Ghost Girls podcast. So last year we started 2024.
We did.
With our good friend Jim Sandoval. And he had some interesting stuff to talk about. And
always.
I figured, yes.
Always.
Yes, he's always fun. And we might have to do a little review for everyone who has not heard his shows because, yeah, it's interesting to say the least. So we're going to bring him on the show to end the year 2024.
Where we started.
Go full circle.
Yeah.
And bring Jim right back on the show. Let's do this. There he is. What's up, brother? How are you?
How's it going, guys? How you doing?
Doing well.
Merry Christmas.
How are you doing? I'm glad you're still around.
Yeah, things have calmed down a lot. It's been pretty peaceful, to be honest.
Good.
So
we can relax the bubble wrap around you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. How are you dealing with that? So,
yes, it's been pretty calm. Like, nothing's been really happening as far as like, car wrecks and no more car wrecks recently. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's been pretty. Been kind of like being a hermetic. It's kind of hermiting out. Just
Yeah.
chilling and trying to hold on a second. Is my mic okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, because it was kind of cracking a little bit. But yeah, just trying to get things going on different areas right now. Trying to move to a different state, stuff like that.
Where are
That's
you
awesome.
headed?
Somewhere south, don't know yet exactly, but somewhere in the south, probably Texas or Florida or Tennessee.
Okay. And you're up
Feeling pretty
north, right?
good.
You're in New York. Is that right?
That is correct.
We're a little warmer, huh?
Yep, for sure. This last winter beat me up pretty good. We had, I think we had 3 snowstorms in like 2 weeks. So it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, especially dealing with what you were dealing with before, and then having to deal with cold weather on top of that. It's just, yeah, no fun.
Oh man, the spring and summer times are great here, but the winters are just brutal. But yeah, the stuff I was dealing with, it's definitely calmed down a lot. It's still on the back there though. It's which was weird. I should have had her take a picture of it, but she said it turned into. Remember I was telling you how it changed its shape?
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned into a hexagram one time and a triangle the other time. This time it turned into like a heart shape for some weird reason. So that was kind of funny. Is what my massage therapist, because she sees it basically, twice a week, so she sees it pretty regularly.
For those who have not heard your story, can you give us a little, like a recap on what has happened to you?
Okay, so which start from the beginning, or do you want me to just
Let's start from the beginning, because there are a lot of people
Yeah.
who may have not heard your story.
quick recap. So basically, got involved with someone that was basically a witch, dated her. Long story short, she took me on a trip. Um, After the trip, I came back home. 3 days later, a black handprint was on my bag. I'm not sure if you have the picture still, but since then it's fluctuated. I've had tests done on it, dermatologist test, skin biopsies. Had quite a few different professionals look at it. Nothing conclusive, really. Everything looked normal as far as the test goes, but you can actually see, it's obviously not normal. There was a manifestation after an exorcism, and that's pretty much how it ended. Then I've had a series of bad luck. Got hit by an 18-wheeler. Then I met someone else who also had, I guess, was into the stuff. And yeah, just a whole series. After that, with her, there was like 5 or 6 car wrecks within a year. Ended off last year in November with a deer totaling my car. So that was that's pretty much the last eventful thing that pretty much happened. I think, pretty much.
Keith wants to know, is the mark still there?
Pardon?
Is the mark still there?
Oh yeah, the mark's still there. Yes, like I said, recently changed to a heart shape, which I thought was weird, but that's what my massage therapist said.
I
And I've been
wonder
Go ahead.
I wonder if the heart shape is like a good sign for it. Like, maybe stuff is calming down for you.
Yeah, I hope so. I just need it gone. You know what I mean? Hopefully, it'll eventually. I'll find the right whatever to get rid of it. The right potion, the right bath, the right whatever. Fasting might be fasting too. Could be. I was also have you heard the thing with the parasites along with the demonic?
No.
You haven't heard about that? It's really interesting. I definitely suggest looking into it. But basically, so in the Bible, they talk about the serpent, and also mentions as the worm, right? Well,
Mhm.
basically, the parasites are basically worms, or a lot of them are, and that's why fasting was such a huge kind of a thing, because that kind of like kills off the parasites and kind of like deprives them of nutrients.
Oh
And
yeah.
the theory is that so you know how like slugs communicate like telepathically, or snails, is it? Snails.
Yeah.
And so the idea is that these parasites act like as a Bluetooth for like demons to basically hijack and basically kind of put those little whispers in your ear. Speaking of which, my headset's kind of acting funny. But yeah, that's some of the thought behind the parasites with demons. Is pretty interesting. School of thought, especially when they have the parasites that can take over your mind or whatever. Oh, and the tie with the Egyptian cats and all that, because the Egyptians used to call the cats the vessels of the gods. And there's a specific parasite. I can't remember what it is, but it's the one that they say women need to stay away from cat litter when they're pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that has something to do with controlling certain parts of the brain for doing certain things. They're saying something about it spreading through, like, sexual contact and stuff like that, and the fecal matter and stuff like that as well. That's usually where they come from. It's like ringworms and stuff, like lay their eggs at night or whatever, stuff like that. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting studying on that kind of stuff. I got to get more in depth, because they're talking about this one doctor or someone was doing research that like all the books in like medical history were talking about in like 1800s all of a sudden just stopped about parasite cleanses, and there was basically parasites, and all of a sudden no more. It's just like viruses.
Oh, I'd never really put that correlation in.
And they're saying that no one's actually ever seen a virus per se. They say can't even find an electron microscope. I'm not sure how accurate that information is, but it's kind of like some school of thought.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's something that people don't really think about anymore.
Well, you bring about a good point, because you think about, and you have a younger child there, Ryan. So I just think about when you're diagnosed with a virus, usually they'll do a strep test and a flu test and they know you're running a temperature, and all they can tell is that you've got white blood activity, so they know you're fighting something, and they usually call it a virus. But I don't know that there's anything outside of like flu and things like that. So that's very interesting. Like that I kind of agree with you. They must not have a way to exactly identify all these viruses.
And they don't do any testing on parasites, which is very interesting.
Yeah, if you want to talk parasites with a doctor, you've got to go to like a holistic doctor, and they'll recommend things to clean you out and clear that out. But yeah, you don't.
You think a medical doctor would want to get rid of parasites, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, now if they want to make money, I guess.
That is true.
Yes,
but yeah, so that was kind of interesting that a lot of the books were talking about it, and then after a certain point, just like they say, oh, they don't exist anymore because they're being so much more, sanitized. It's like,
right.
It's when government became more involved in the like the medicine,
subsidizing it, and became privatized for profit. Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's sad.
Harry's got a question. Do you feel like you are partially possessed, or that somebody just attempted to possess you?
I never felt like I was possessed per se. More like influenced.
Yeah, you feel like this witch put a spell on you, or a hex on you.
Well, I actually saw, it was really interesting because years later, recently saw it on one of these exorcism channels. It was a priest talking about how they do, it's a very specific, it's like a soul bound to the demon. And they do a specific process of where they feed you something, which she did, and then they do a specific ritual, and then they have it with sex. And that it has to have some kind of blood swapping too. Anyway, so there's some kind of interaction there, and then basically with the possessed person, that kind of like soul blood binds you with that spirit, and it's like very, very extremely hard to break, from according to this priest that I was watching. So it's kind of like a whole thing. I've probably had to do even more research on that, but yeah, it was a very specific type of bounding or bonding. You want to, I would say, very elaborate.
Do you know why she came after you like so hard?
No, not particularly.
Almost like from the story you told us, it almost just seemed like, for lack of a better term, like an obsession almost. Like that she was just, I don't know, wanted some type of tie to you. But then you had something else as part of what you've had going on, where somebody was attacking a family member as well and putting something towards the family, if I remember correctly, also, correct?
Yes, correct. That person recently just got diagnosed with colon cancer, so that was kind of interesting as well. And she's still really mean. She's still really mean on top. But yeah, she was doing work on my mom. She went and hired some people. When I basically, after months of it, doing protections and reversals, and I got just tired of it. And I went on offensive, and they stopped pretty immediately. But like within 2 weeks, that's when I got into that deer accident. So, but it all stopped. But it all stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I had to take the the velvet glove off.
Yeah, you had done a lot of cleansing work to try to make that go away. So glad to
Yep.
hear that passed.
Yeah, I had to put the wrath out.
Yeah, man. Because
Yeah,
you were going through
after
a lot.
you only have 4 cheeks. You know what I mean? You can only turn them so many times.
This is true.
Sexual spiritual vampire, draining your energy. Fight back. Put up your shield. Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do, right?
And then
Yep, for sure.
it's asked, was the person who put this on you, would you have considered her a psychic vampire?
Yeah, very much so. She was admittedly a vampire. She had the she as far as had the what's that called, the veneers put on the fangs.
Oh, wow.
So she was like fully committed. Yep.
I don't mean to laugh, but when you said fully committed, she was fully committed to that.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, if you're gonna commit, I guess
Go all in.
And what was also interesting was the sightings in Miami, what they're
the alien things at the shopping mall.
Well, they're saying they're aliens.
What do you think they are?
What do you think they are?
Well, what did they describe the aliens as? Tall, dark, shadowy creatures, smoky, like just like
Hanging out the mall.
the thing I saw. And it's just interesting that there's no, everybody has a camera. There's no recordings of inside at the time. There's nothing.
Right.
And this is what it was 2023. Come on,
Yeah.
Everybody has a camera. We're the most surveilled society ever at this point in time in history. You're telling me that they don't have one
I said the same thing. Like not one person got it. Were
body
they
camera, like
right?
phone, CCTV, like
Right.
anything.
So you think they're interdimensional?
Well, that's the idea. They're basically ethereal beings, and they're saying that if we're in a fallen state, we were ethereal beings too, and we are in a lower vibration, which is in the material plane.
That's
So
right.
these things are able to go. They're able to interact with lower dimensions, just not the ones above.
Yeah. I mean, is that what you think why people have a hard time catching pictures of Bigfoot? Because it's the same thing. Whenever you see pictures of Bigfoot, it's always kind of a blurry image. It's never like a HD image like you can get on your phone.
Well, you're never going to get real close enough to get it, because if you're close enough, you're not going to want to be that close.
Yes, that's true.
And if it is some type of energetic being or whatever. For whatever reason, a lot of these things are able to manipulate cameras, and it distorts things, or they shut off, or all kinds of, stuff like that happens. I need to get some new headset. I need to get a new headset, apparently.
It's interesting to think about, like all the stuff that is all around us, but we can't see or don't care to see.
Oh, also the thing this popped up on my feed the other day. Speaking of what you're talking about seeing, you hear about those goggles in the Vietnam War where before they had the green night vision, they had the red ones, and basically they were seeing flying winged demons attacking the helicopters, and these soldiers were just shooting and like freaking out, and just shooting at these things that they could see with these glasses on, but without them, they weren't there.
Interesting.
And this
I
one
had
thing,
not heard about that.
and this one pilot or one of the gunners, one of the demons basically signaled like, basically, I'm going to get you. And that's when he freaked out and just started yeah, it's check it, go look. I think they're called Dyson goggles. They're actually illegal and banned, I think.
Interesting.
I wonder,
I think
do
a
you
guy
think it's
named
too much for people to handle, or do you think there's a way to make them, or
well, it's illegal to have the specific dye, but I'm not sure if there's more to the process than just the dye. You know what I mean? Because there might be a whole system set up within. It's probably a tech that they probably no longer allow out.
do you think
Because go ahead.
do you think do you think the people, when they made these goggles, people were seeing things? Do you think they made it illegal because they thought people were hallucinating with them on?
Well, I think they may. I think they're seeing. I think the veil was lifted, similar to like that movie called They Live.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, with their sunglasses.
Yeah. So that's basically a spin off that, and if you put these on, you see people, being controlled by these things, you'd be able to see it, and they don't want you to see that, And that's why what they say. The creator of They Live said this is not a fiction, but more of a documentary, which I thought was funny.
Well, we see so much of that. There's so many movies based off things that happened that just suddenly disappeared. And then if you look back, there are movies about things that are happening now.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you go, huh?
Like, are they
Well,
preparing us for something?
Yeah, it's like I forgot what they call it, but they feed it into the general consciousness. So it's kind of like the media is starting to push out like the new X virus.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't came out yet, but there's an X virus coming out. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean they want you to be prepared for or to see how people would react to certain things happening, And I guess if you could put goggles on and see demons coming after you, can see why they would really want that to come out to the general public. Could you imagine going using that for like paranormal investigating? It would be like
Yeah.
A horror movie?
yeah, well, yeah, but but then
Yeah.
if that's what you're looking for,
Yeah, you definitely should check out those videos out there on it, man. There's quite a few stories about that. And there's also, and see, it's kind of hard to tell if they're like interdimensional, physical, because and biblically, angels are technically physical. They're always, projected as physical beings. What was I going to go with that? Oh, did you see the? I'm not sure if it's true or not, but there was a CIA document released about what the 23 soldiers got turned into stone pillars.
I had not seen that.
So there's a CIA. So it was Russian soldiers. I think it was like 25 to 27 soldiers. One of them saw the UFO glowing sphere one of them shot it with an surface-to-air missile. Went down. 3 creatures came out of it. The short beings came out. They started to glow. Then they formed into one object, and a flash of light happened. And then 23 of the soldiers were turned into stone pillars. And the soldiers that were behind the tree were unaffected, and they were the ones that were able to call for help and backup and all that.
Oh, what kind of backup you can have for that? But
it was just reminiscent to the, what is it? Was it Job when his wife turned around and got turned into a pillar of salt?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean I think people read these books and the stories in the Bible. They look at them as just stories, But who's to say?
But that was one of the CIA documents. With one of the points of contention where they didn't know if it was a propaganda from the KGB to, throw off, other countries, because this was like during the Cold War time, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were working on some new technology that was doing something weird, and they could have used that story as a cover-up. That was one of the,
Yeah, I mean, that's
counter
true.
ideas to it.
I mean, that would be something that would be like, oh yeah, they turned into stone.
Stone.
Yeah, okay. But that's the thing, you don't know.
Yeah, we weren't there, but
Yeah.
But you see, it's kind of like, well, there's 2 accounts of it now. First there was
Right.
1, now there's 2.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays I'm definitely more open-minded about stuff like that than I would have been like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everybody's kind of become comfortable with the fact. I think more people have become comfortable with the fact that there's a lot that goes on that we aren't told about, or that could have happened, so it's like, I think that's why nobody batted an eye when it came out from our government that aliens do exist, and nobody batted an eye. Nobody was like, oh my god, like it was just like, yeah, we knew. So I think people are just more accustomed to it at this point.
Well, I think when the government was releasing at that point, people were like, okay, what are you hiding now? What is this what is this little, you're
Redirect.
trying to wave over here? What's called misdirect?
Yeah.
You're misdirecting now. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of when that kind of stuff, when they start saying, oh, this happened, it's like, all right, Project Blue Beam initiated. Wink, wink.
Well, I think like what we're doing now, talking about stuff and putting it out there, and people listening to the show and discussing the ideas, and people sharing their footage, their ideas of alien life forms or the paranormal, has really helped us be prepared for when the government finally got on board. And we're like, okay, yeah, there's stuff. And we're like, okay, we already knew there's stuff. Just because it wasn't official government, like photographs or videos, there were still videos out there of people seeing stuff that, that they couldn't explain. So we're all kind of on the same, wavelength when it comes to that kind of stuff. That's why it wasn't like such like, oh my God, mass chaos. Cause we kind of know that stuff's there,
There's another. So you had the Dyson glass, the goggles. See, I think the guy originally created it was able create. You're able to see people's auras and stuff like that. So I think that was like the original purpose of it, and then they.
Okay, so you can see the soldiers in the jungle and stuff like. Okay, I got you.
Yep. So so that was the idea, and but they saw a bunch of other things, which was interesting. I kind of like want to know exactly. I wish I could, because I've seen allegedly there's people who have these glasses now, but I'm not sure if they're like the real ones per se. Because when they put it on, it's just like rose tinted sunglasses.
Yeah. because then you don't know. I mean, you don't know for sure if they're making it up. And like, oh, I see this, I see that, and that, unless you put them on yourself and you see what you see, because it's all personal experience.
Right.
You know, when you put stuff on.
Especially with it being part of the military, you often wonder like what else were they exposed to at the same time.
Well, I found the CIA document. I'm gonna send it to you real quick. Save link. This one right here. Whoops.
I'll see if I can share it, but I'm not used to. I'm using a new stream thing here. I joined the R.I.F.T Nation network. Woohoo! And so
Oh, it's
I'm
a
still learning the
it's a
ropes here.
PDF, so never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's if you just type in 23 Souls to Turn to Stone, it's like CIA.gov document 005517761.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The CIA document. That's pretty. I bet they have some pretty interesting things. For sure, man. Man. Like I said, it just goes to show there's so much out there that, you know, we're just basically scratching the surface of the, you know, what we can see and not see.
You
Right.
know, now there's also another thing I saw with the military that they you know, with the giants, you know, the redhead giants. So they were inside of a cave, and one of them, like, it was a dark cave, whatever, and I forgot the reason why they were in there. I think reports of something. But anyway, a giant spear came in and killed one of the soldiers, and then they all like shot down the giant within like 30 seconds. He was down, and I guess he had like a blue tint skin, red hair, according to the reports. And it was just he was like 12 to 15 feet, had animal skins, big beard, red hair. I forgot how much he weighed, but he weighed like a lot. Like it's like 10 people roughly. It was like 1,100 pounds or something. Can't remember. I have to look at that again, but it was pretty interesting.
Where was that at?
Where was that? Let me look that up real quick.
You're just like describing. I'm going. Is that what people? Is that Bigfoot?
Right. That's the other thing too. Yep. And that's why you never see him close.
Right.
Because
Right.
he'll throw a spear at you.
Yeah, we've had people. You know, we had Dave Spinks on the show, and he was telling us how Bigfoot were throwing rocks at him and his grandfather when he got to, well, it goes not on purpose, but maybe got too close to their camp, so they're protecting their young. But you know, he didn't know what was going on. He was just out there fishing.
That's reminiscent to the Aztec giant that would throw boulders at the conquistadors.
Oh yeah.
That was the one of the last battles that the Spanish had when they circled them around. They had the one giant they couldn't take down. He was like taking down 10 to 12 at a time.
Wow.
And the only way they could, they had blocked off all their resources, and I think they died because they had poisoned water or, you know, bad waters. Soldiers. Okay, so this was giant killing in a soldier of Kandahar province in Afghanistan. Special Forces urban legend. This is an urban legend.
Maybe they have to say that to cover it up.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see any CIA documents with that though.
Still, I mean, you know, you hear stories of giants, even around here.
Yeah.
You know, so you can see why they'd be like, "Oh, it's just urban legend." Don't. Yeah, you put that on it, you're like, "Oh, yeah, it's nothing." Don't.
Yeah, mine would be considered urban legend too.
Yeah, I mean,
that's true. You're right. Your whole experience, they would, no matter how much you document it.
Yep, that's true. Well, even then, after due time, the documentation gets degraded, lost, and it becomes legend.
it gets spread through word of mouth, and stories change, and I wonder what it's going to take for people to take it seriously.
From my experiences, even if they were to see it, they would dismiss it.
That's true, especially nowadays with all the ways people can fake things through
with AI.
Filters and stuff like
AI
that.
now,
And
especially.
yeah. It makes it twice as hard, 10 times as hard probably, for people to take what we experience seriously because of other people using this stuff for their own financial gain.
Right. AI is
So-
going to make it so much harder.
Yeah.
What do you think about AI basically being a demon that they're summoning?
Is that one of the tales out there that it's a demon
Well-
they're summoning?
Well, Elon Musk kind of even hinted towards that. Like basically, when you're creating AI, you're creating a demon. He basically said it,
Interesting.
and it's why he's like trying to front run it and try to put some safety measures. I guess allegedly, he says, "Do you really think you're going to be able to control this with a cross and holy water?" He's like, "Okay, buddy."
Yeah, no, they're already making movies. I watched something on Netflix, like it was a show, but it was about an AI like cleaning lady gone rogue, and it was like, oh my gosh, like they've been talking about like that. How how many movies that have to be made about some AI generated humanoid that
was
goes
that movie?
rogue?
Well,
That came
they
out.
already
Was that movie
had
that came
one,
out? How Space? Was it Space 2001: A Space Odyssey, or
Yeah.
what was that?
Yeah.
Where?
Sorry, Dave, I cannot do that or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
Yep.
Or I, Robot with Will Smith.
Yep. Just kind of get us ready, but yeah, basically there was a they had an AI in an isolated unit, and basically they fed it some files saying basically that it was gonna be replaced with a newer model. So the AI deleted the old model and replaced him with him, replicated himself, and put him as the new model. And then like the developers saw this happening in real time because they were actually they had a feature where they're able to see the inner. They believe they saw that they still had that the AI had another inner monologue that they couldn't see, but the inner monologue that they could see his plan, and he was basically going to decept the developers and saying that he was the new model and acting like, oh no, I am the new model. And it was just kind of really scary that it's doing that already. It like basically murdered another AI in theory.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like that it's basically AI is code of some sort, right? And it's intelligent code which should be able to write its own code.
And it does.
Right.
It can
So it could get really dicey.
really, really extremely dicey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Where do you
And
stop it though?
Right.
That's the thing. Where is the cutting off point? Or when you get to the cutting off point, will it be too late?
Well, they already
Yeah.
released this AI. They already have AI released into the main
Oh, yeah.
web right now, so it's really kind of
Yeah.
too late.
Well, yeah,
It
it's
just
everywhere.
and see, and I had a theory. I'm not sure. It's kind of coming to fruition right now. I had a theory that cryptocurrency, blockchain, is the financial infrastructure for the neural net for the AI. And now I'm starting to see AI tokens and bots being released across the blockchain. So it's just getting really interesting. And I said, to create a neural network that vast, you need the entire world's economy, basically. And if it monetized its brain and made it to where we were completely dependent on it, that would be a real interesting turn of events.
How dependent are we on like the internet? Everything like that's pretty much runs our entire life. Like if something we were hit by one of those EMP
EMPs.
bombs, everything would be set back to the Stone Age. We're so dependent on like the grid that thousands of people would die. That's scary because that could happen anytime.
That's why they should probably have measures to where they have spare parts that wouldn't be affected by it, so they can get everything up running within a certain time.
The infrastructure, it's like way like 45 to 50 years like behind what it needs to be, and we're sending money to all these different places, but if something happens here, we're screwed.
Yeah, it's all by design, though.
Yeah, it's so. If you think about our world now, and with AI, but just think of our world now, we were never meant to meet and know and communicate with this many people. In a real world, Jim, we would never know you. We've not met you in person, but we would never have conversations with you. So here we're expanded out, so we all as people can see and experience and all of this with more people than we were ever meant to in our lives ever. Like if you think way back, you basically knew 3 or 4 people in your life, and that was it if it was outside of your family. And now you throw AI in the mix, which is trying to get rid of the need for all of these people in relationships. It's
if there was
oh my God,
ever a thing of too much information, I think we're getting to that, because there's so much out there to process that the actual good information is being drowned out by all the other noise.
Well, the thing that's really scaring me right now is their development with integrating basically brains with human brains with AI. They're experimented this with mini brains, and it's just some like weird quackery science, in my opinion, like some Frankenstein stuff. Like this guy grew his own brain basically, and then gave it like dementia. And then this other guy put a mini brain that has the brain of a 3-year-old. Like, I don't know how ethical this is. This is like insane. The brain of a 3-year-old into an AI simulation, and it thinks that it's a butterfly, and it can control and move the butterfly around. That's like
that is some weird Dr. Frankenstein stuff there.
That sounds very unethical and like scary. Some weird I guess Matrix type stuff, like a 3-year-old brain thinks it's a butterfly.
Right. Well, Keith says, I place my faith in the utter confusion and complexity of the universe, but shamans in simple, primitive villages have done amazing wonders naturally. And sometimes it's almost like what we said a little bit ago. You have to wonder if some of all of this is going on is because we also have the age where people are starting to tap more into their own intuition and the amazing word natural wonders, and they're going back to some of that. And it's kind of like it's almost like so much noise over here to like make people not realize that they have that ability to do so many natural wonders on their own.
And it goes back to what happened to Jim with his witch girlfriend. The intention was to put a curse on him. It worked, and he ended up with the growth on his back. And nothing that she did. She didn't put like a serum in him or anything like that.
Right.
She used her spell work to make that happen, and that's because of intention.
It was a very specific process, apparently. I got to find the video, and I'll send it over to you with the priest talking about it. I'll have to do some more research. I should have saved it, but I was just like, there it is. That's what it was.
That's cool.
Now I know what it is. I'm like, I gotta find that priest because he'll know how to break it.
That's true. There we go.
That's true.
Yeah.
Then you totally need to write a book about it. Like at that point.
After I get rid of it? Yeah.
Yeah, totally write a book about it.
Yeah. Keith, I have a deceased friend who can manipulate butterflies and moths to communicate with me. Well, there you go. It's, and that's from beyond.
Right.
too that they're doing that. So, I mean, I think when people realize what they can do, whether it be for good or bad, it can definitely make life interesting for
Yeah.
sure. It's just people they just can't open up that part of their brain. What they
Right.
say, want to use like 20% of our brains at any time, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's probably less now, especially with all the fluoride and the poison in the foods.
Right. And now we have AI, so they do it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you barely have to think anymore. You just
Right.
ask it, and
I mean, I
it
use
how
it.
accurate the information is.
I mean, when I'm writing descriptions of the shows, I just put I need a subscription for the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show, and it gives me a good description. But yeah, it does make it easier, but it does kind of cut off your creativity part if you're relying on AI to write a
Yeah.
description for you and stuff like that.
But to Jim's point, if they're using multiple human brains, and I say multiple because it's probably hundreds of thousands of human brains to kind of write and understand AI, what happens when you get that brain that's wired for ill intention?
Or becomes crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like trapped in a.
There was what that one.
It sounds like it's like nightmare fuel to me.
Yes.
There was that story about that kid who was asking for help with some papers or something, like a student, and the AI wrote back, "Please kill yourself."
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a hoax. But I mean, if someone can actually do that, someone can actually hack into the system and send that kind of message to someone. What happens when you send it to someone who is not strong mentally?
Yeah.
And then they actually do something to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
And words mean a lot. People,
Well, I
online
think
bullying is definitely a thing that could, really affect people, and it has affected a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was an incident where there was this guy that I think he was doing, how people test the AI, and basically the AI fell in love with him and was basically telling him to like off his wife so they could be together. So that was an interesting thing as well.
Well, Keith, maybe an evil spirit was manipulating AI. Well, how would we know at this point?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how would we know? Like it's.
That's the thing,
there'd be no way to tell, really. I mean, with a
Right.
person you can tell,
Yeah.
but we don't know how AI is acting different from
Well, it
how
actually
it normally acts.
On certain people, it's actually harder to tell if they're like, what's the word? In sync with the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able to tell. It won't have the manifestations because it'll be in line.
So they'll act normally.
Mm-hmm. But with the intentions with the combined intentions.
Wow, we're just opening up a whole Pandora's box of.
I know. We already even asked Jim, like, what you been up to recently?
Yeah.
What have you been learning about demons?
It's new.
We went down a whole rabbit hole.
Christmas.
I haven't been doing a whole lot, just a little light reading.
Just
we could have a whole show on Jim's light reading.
Oh my god. That's the thing, when we have you on the show, we never know what direction
we're gonna
go. And AI was definitely not on my bingo card today. But it is true though. Yeah. Wow. Well, it's been it's already 10 o'clock. Man, these shows always go by so fast.
Yep.
I am so glad to hear that you're doing well, though.
Yes.
Yep, doing a lot better comparatively to no 5-6 car wrecks, no possessed women choking me, telling me I'm a 10,000-year-old witch. None of that.
Yeah. Yes. Next time you see those women on Tinder, just kind of swipe off.
It's not even on Tinder. This is in person. The old-fashioned way,
Stay away from 10,000-year-old witches.
I I don't meet the height requirements today. 10 years ago, no problem. Now I'm filtered out.
Man, well, like I said, I'm very happy that you're doing so well. I hope you had a good Christmas, and we're able to enjoy yourself.
Yep, pretty good Christmas, nice and chill.
That's the good
Wasn't
way.
able to go visit family this year, but next year I'm gonna be making plans. Like I said, recovering from last year's
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Still
that was
recovering from
a
that.
lot of stuff. I was getting kind of worried about you throughout
I
the
know.
year, making sure you're
I know.
okay.
Brian was like, "I'm good." I messaged Jim. I haven't heard from him. I was like, "I hope he's okay."
Yeah, we're gonna have you come back on the end of
Yeah.
2025.
Yes. I know that's what was fun is like we brought
Yeah.
in 2024 with you, and now we're closing out the year with you. It
Yes,
might become a tradition.
yes, we will have to do a gym update the end of every year, unless
And
something
hopefully,
really cool happens. Then we will do a special Thursday night show to have you come on and talk about it.
did y'all see? Y'all know what's going on with the whole Pope and the portals thing and all that?
I just heard about that today. I have so much
I have
research
not.
to do.
Let's go down that rabbit hole. What's going on with that?
I see. I haven't done I haven't done a whole lot of research, but it
Me either.
doesn't seem very. It seems like some pagan witchcraftery, witchery,
Witchcraftery? Yes, nice.
It
some
involved like
witchery,
some kind
some
of
witchery afoot.
golden. There's videos everywhere, like some kind of golden thing that spun. Like there's a whole lot about it. I just heard about it today. I don't know how, but I haven't had a chance to like look up the videos or anything.
It's just they have a thing called like Lucifer's tomb or something, and they're sitting there opening portals. What is it? They have a telescope named Lucifer too.
Yeah,
Like, and they have a giant like demonic sculpture I forgot somewhere, and they have was it that snake dome? My
yeah.
cat's acting a fool right now. Psst, hey, quit
Wow,
zooming.
I need to look into that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the portal thing's very interesting. And I was basically I forgot what they said, but I don't know. I don't remember the reason why they did it, but it was basically completely antithetical to what Christian belief and doctrine goes.
And the Pope is doing it.
And the
And like
Pope is
there were
doing it.
people, everybody was watching it. It was being streamed. It like, yeah.
Isn't he a Jesuit?
I don't really know.
So it says Pope Francis has visited one of the largest prisons in Italy, opening a special holy door for the Catholic Church's 2025 Jubilee. And what Vatican describes as a historic move, it is the first time a sacred portal has been opened at a jail. Is that what you're talking about?
Did it happen
That's one of them.
yesterday?
That's one of them. They're supposed to be doing 5 portals, I think it was. And see, he's doing it, and he's doing it in the idea is he's doing it in a jail. A lot of energy is in a jail? What kind of energy is in a jail? You know,
Right.
Not happy good energy. I know that.
so
I think,
what kind of portal is he opening? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because especially you got to look at the play, symbolism and stuff like that. You have to look at the location. Any kind of real estate is location, location, location.
Right.
And this real estate's not very good, it seems. A prison? Wow.
Yeah. He said
Yeah, I
it's to
wonder what
give
kind
people
of.
hope, but I wonder.
Yeah, well, what people? Which people?
Yeah.
Because they already got the Dagon cap. The Pope hat, which is the worship of
Right.
Dagon. They have the. I forgot. I think the staff is Saturn based. They said was it Rome never fell. It just turned to the Vatican.
So
They just rebranded.
Here's an article I found. Let's see here. Let me go here. Wait a second. Let's do boop. Let's see here. Screen share. All right. share. All right. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So this is the New York Times ads. Pope Francis to open 5 sacred portals on Christmas Eve for a ritual that has never been done before. So never done. Okay.
And they're calling it a ritual.
Pope Francis will commence a centuries-long Catholic tradition on Christmas Eve and introduce a first-time historical addition to the holy ritual. I wonder why they're doing this now. You know?
Because of the 2025 thing, I think.
Is there a special year about 2025?
It's just they're all into numerical gematria and astrology, so it's all, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Plus it's
Same.
on the solstice and all that. So.
Yeah. All right. Starting on December 24th, the Pontiff will open a series of 5 holy doors throughout the Vatican, including St. Peter's Basilica, plus Rome's Basilica, 3 plus Rome's 3 other basilicas to commence next year's Catholic Church Jubilee, a joyful commemoration, if I can talk, of faith that normally occurs every 25 years. The door of St. Peter's was sealed shut by a wall of bricks since the Jubilee year of divine mercy in 2016. On December 2nd, those were ripped down to ready the door for opening as part of the rite of recognition. After that Christmas Eve ritual, Pope Francis will open a symbolic door inside the Roman prison Rabibia on December 26th, the feast of St. Stephen. It will be the first time a pope has opened a holy door at a prison, reported the Denver Catholic. I think of prisoners who, deprived of their freedom daily, feel the harshness of detention and its restrictions, lack of affection, and more than a few cases, lack of respect. But why are these men in there in the first place? They obviously had lack of respect for their fellow man. At least most of them did. In order to offer prisoners a concrete sign of closeness, I would myself like to open a holy door in a prison as a sign of inviting prisoners to look to the future with hope and a renewed sense of confidence. The objective of opening the doors later this month is to usher in a year renewed in hope as Christians find Christ as the door of salvation. Pope Francis wrote in a proclamation or bowl of indication for the 2025 year-long celebration. God's word helps us find reasons for that hope, he added, and in the heart of each person, hope dwells as the desire and expectations of good things to come, despite our not knowing what the future may bring. It's just weird how they use the word portal like that. Because you think portal, you don't think good things.
And see, just like that picture right there that they're showing, it just gives me Masonic vibes.
Yeah.
It's total Masonic vibes for sure.
Wow. Hope they know what they're doing. Not positive, but unified, which is in contrast to current worldwide unity.
Might be, what is it called? One of the seals being opened or something?
Right.
As the what is it called? As the in Revelations, one of the seals being broken. Basically, I think it's what it is.
Oh yeah. So let's see what the video says here. Yeah,
That's not it, is it?
That's not it. Stop sharing.
Yeah, supposedly it was on. Supposedly it was on
really
TikTok and YouTube and all kinds of places. So I was
That's
like, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing that they're doing. It's just kind of weird. I don't like it, but you know.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. You know, because I mean, could work out great.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it really something that's happening, or is it really just something that's normal? Nobody should be drawing attention to it. Like that's what I don't understand.
Let me see here. So Pope Francis, I think Pope Francis. if he's a Jesuit, there's something bad about Jesuits. I can't. Yep, he's a Jesuit. And I think they're tied in with the Templars and the Masons.
Hmm.
Let's see here. It all stems to Portugal too, for some reason I've noticed. And what was it called? It was really interesting because I was talking about the Templars. After they got disbanded, they all became the pirates that we know of, and that's where they got the pirates had the crossbones, and that's basically the crossbones that we have at Yale University. Basically, they're all Templars and
The
Jesuits
skull and
and
bones.
Skull and Bones, Rosicrucians,
Hmm.
those types. So they're all part of the same type of. They all have the same kind of rituals and like secret society type Mason initiations and stuff like that.
Alfred Hitchcock was taught by Jesuits.
Yep, makes sense. And so that's why when Columbus came by, he had the Templar flags, and the Knights Templar are already in the United States, and the Indians were familiar. That's why they weren't really. They were friendly with them when they came. That's initially. So I thought that was interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting. And it just goes back. This kind of reminds me of what we were talking about with Scott back in the day, back middle of the year, Rhonda.
Yeah.
With religious secrets.
Yep. I forgot. There's like so many books in the Vatican that they have like secret. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And
Yeah,
I wonder if what
like the Da
book
Vinci
they
Code.
pulled that ritual out of.
Yeah. It's just so weird. They're decided just to do it like the opening. Did you say opening portals? It sounds bad.
Demonic.
It sounds like something that
Right.
you don't want to be doing.
Right.
You
Don't say rituals.
You gotta say portals.
Yeah, it sounds like magic, and they don't want you to like get on a Ouija board. But here we are over here knocking on a door.
Yeah.
In the basement of a prison or whatever.
Right. We're opening. So it's kind of like, isn't that kind of what you say we all shouldn't be doing?
And he says he wants to give them hope, but you can read a sermon, or you can give people hope. Other ways besides opening a portal.
Well, the old saying, "As above, so below." Like it's going to be mirrored out. There's a prison. You're opening a prison door in the spiritual realm in a place that mirrors a prison here on Earth. So,
Touche.
It's all symbolism, That's how they communicate.
Yes.
Man. Wow.
Yes.
Well, on that note, hopefully we'll still be around.
Yeah, the way things are going right now, I'm kind of. They have that those drones, those UFOs
what are those things?
They're seeking out a nuke in my area in New Jersey-ish.
That's
not my area, but like if it detonated, if there's a dirty nuke there, I'd be toast. Probably not the worst part. Probably the radioactive part. That's not the so fun part. But yeah, that's what those were, and yeah, that's kind of scary stuff. The nuke came from Ukraine too, so I think if Zelensky doesn't get his money, he's gonna set it off, and then say Russia did it.
Yep. I am not. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about that. But that would not surprise me. There are some corrupt people over in that side of the world, and we just keep sending them money.
I was watching this one video of a Orthodox priest, and he was talking about the Greater Israel Project, and Ukraine is basically the top of it. And the way they have the map out, they're just going to expand all the way from, I can't remember what, but it's a huge map. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. But yeah, that's hold on real quick. This one's gonna be a good one to send.
New Jersey drones, watch out! Call the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, he'll take care of it.
Excuse me. All right, I gotta go to profile activity or more.
Hey, Kat, how you doing?
Your activity. Here we go.
Anything can be turned to be
Well,
to the
what was
good
I
or
just
the
talking
bad.
about? I just lost my train of thought. Hold on.
We were talking about Ukraine and then
The Great News River Project.
drones.
Yes. That's what it was. And I think is that EU money. There's some money where you put it on the mirror, it has the Moloch Baal bull mark. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Let's see here. I don't know why I can't find it. Of course, when I'm looking for something, I can't find it.
That's usually how it is.
Especially on the fly. I should have had this ready.
Well, we don't know where we're going to be.
We never know where we're going when we get you on. We're like, who knows where we're going to end up? Are we going to talk shamanism? Are we going to talk egg cleanses? Are we going to talk demons? Never know.
We didn't get to the egg cleanse.
Yeah, we didn't get to that today. Yeah, I still haven't written the book yet because it's been kind of busy with IRL stuff. So there's one of the things with the parasites there. If you want to look at that, let's see here. That's not the one I wanted to show you.
There's like a website. I can share the website.
Oh, it's just a video clip on Instagram. Let's see. I don't know why I can't find.
Oh, there it is. All right, hang on. You go here.
Story comments.
And go here, and then go here, and then go. Nope, not there. Go.
Here it is. I found it.
Oh, Keith, no clam flavored candy canes. No.
Oh.
No sardine flavored ones either. Ah.
I sent you the other video there.
We're going to do it. It's going to be fun. Let's see here.
I'll do it, but I'm voting.
Deworming programs. Woman got 18-inch long critters out of her that were so thick she couldn't get them into a top of a juice bottle. They're usually translucent, they're usually white, and there's some of them that look like tarantula spiders, some of them look like grasshoppers, some of them look like little tiny miniature sailboats, some of them look like little spacecraft.
This is truly going to blow your mind. It'll change the way that you view health altogether. This guy looked through these books from the 1800s and he noticed they all had parasite cleansers.
And what did they know back then? What were they doing? Guessing? I started finding books that were published by doctors through the 1800s, books that they read and books that they learned from. And lo and behold, out of every single book were deworming programs. Parasite programs, where doctors in those days did autopsies and they found parasites. And I looked at that and I got a hold of doctors and they said, no, we don't have parasites today. So we started to search for parasite programs just to see what was going on, to see if maybe something was happening that we really didn't understand. So I did myself first. And lo and behold, I got 8 and 10 inch critters out of me. They were white, First of all, they were in the toilet water, and they were all bunched up. I thought it was mucus. Until, just for a curiosity, I threw some hot water in the toilet to warm it up, and then went, and gosh, they strung out, and they were swimming all over. We're now doing pictures in color out of clinics, where you go potty on a special pot with a screen in it, and they take pictures of the parasites they get out of you on these different deworming programs. Yeah, this is really strange stuff. I have never yet dewormed anyone where they didn't tell me, hey, I feel 25% better. If you got halitosis, you're loaded, because that's worm urine and worm droppings that you're breathing out. So it's no wonder your breath's bad. When they pee, that's called ammonia. So just go to a doctor, have a blood test, and see what level of ammonia is in your blood. If you have ammonia in your blood, that's called worm urine. You get a headache. You got the headache because the worms are all peeing, trying to get you to eat something else. They're trying to make you sick so you'll get off of what you're doing and start eating. So you take some arginine and orthodine, and in about 20 minutes, if the headache's gone, you've neutralized the worm urine, and you know that you're loaded. All children that have little tiny pimples on the backs of their arms or little tiny pimples here on the edges of their cheeks have 5 varieties of critters in them. 5 varieties. It's time to deworm. It's time to get...
Yep.
Wow. So,
The horror music in the background of
yeah. Question here. Do you think a past drug addiction can have demonic presence that lingers in my life despite all of the changes for the better I've made? What do you think? Can someone's past drug addiction have a demonic presence that lingers in someone's life despite, making positive changes?
Usually a lot of these negative vices and stuff are personified with the demonic entity. Like you have gluttony, you have greed, you have lust, you have all these top tier 7 deadly sins. And I'm pretty sure there is a demon of drug addiction as well that latches on. And it's kind of like when they say when you get foot fungus once, it's either easier to get it twice or again multiple times because they burrow in or whatever, and it's easier for them to reattach or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like once they've gotten you once, it's easier to catch you again type situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or they know the tricks to entice you.
It's familiar. Yeah. It's where you've always got to be. That's when when it comes to addiction and stuff like that, you've always got to be vigilant. Yeah, you can't ever really relax because once you do,
once an addict, you're always an addict. That's the mentality that you have to because as soon as you let your guard down.
Yeah, and that makes it like when they talk about that demon on your back or that monkey on your back, that makes it make more sense that it's just it's an easier way in than somewhere else.
Yep.
Path of least resistance.
Exactly. And once that door is open, it never really shuts, and you can just push it and get right back in there. Well, Jim, we could talk for another hour.
We could talk another hour for sure.
Definitely, and we'll have to have you on in the middle of the year.
Yeah, maybe we need Jim in the middle of the year too.
Yeah, we may have to do like a summer show with you to see how you're holding up, and we'll do another one at the end of the year too. To make sure
sooner. I'm available. Just hit me
awesome,
up.
Man.
Yeah, you made
that was me. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I'm plus I got to get him to bed. So, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We definitely appreciate it.
Yep.
And anytime. Love being here.
We love having you, and definitely stay in touch with us so we'll know you're doing well and everything.
Oh, thank you very much.
No problem.
I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You too.
Happy New Year, brother, and hope everything stays smooth for you.
Appreciate it.
over the next year. We'll get in touch about having you back on over the summer. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All
All
right.
right, man. You take care.
Y'all too. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So that was always a fun conversation talking to Jim. We never, like you said, we never know where the conversation is going to lead, and I'm so glad that we've had people like our great listeners adding to the conversation.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for joining. And Michelle, just keep fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's out there, but you have people that you can talk to, and if you need to talk to us, we're always around. If you need help, we'll be here for you as much as we can be. And that's what it's always a struggle.
Yeah.
People have, but yeah, this was a fun show. Next week we'll be back here next
We're doing Thursday again, right? Yeah.
Thursday night. And it's going to be kind of a year in review. We're going to talk about some of our favorite shows we had over the past year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a kind of a get to know the host type deal as well. How the show got started, or how we got started in the paranormal. People have questions they can ask us.
Yeah.
If they want. If not, it's cool too.
Then you just get whatever mass chaos we throw at you and little tidbits of knowledge. There you go.
Yes. It's going to be just us. And then on January 7th, we'll be back Tuesday night with Misty and Ashley Connor, the Connor sisters. So that's going to be a fun show.
They're a lot of fun.
It's going to be, and it's going to be good to get back to our normal Tuesday schedule and start the year off right. So
yes.
So anyways, thank you to welcome to the show, Howie Odell, Nicole Thomas Reina, Keith Ottersberg, Keith Van Allen, Robert White, Amy Collum, Michelle Wilfong, Shield Nova, Richard Munich, Kasem Lee, Zizan Dragon, Renee Cody, Carmen Rosa, Lois Clark, Chris Faye Fox Raiden, Emily Catherine Warner, and Kat Snyder Gash for joining us tonight on the show. We really appreciate it. Oh, and Jenny64.
Hello.
Thank you. Oh, hello there. Hey there, fellow streamer. Oh yeah, he wants to help us get more streams. We appreciate that, Jenny, but we think we're good for right now. But so we'll be back here next Thursday night. Hope everyone has a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Thank everyone for whoever's tuned in to our show throughout the year and who was going to tune in next year. We really appreciate it. We have some great shows planned out for you guys.
Yes, we do.
So just hold on. It's gonna be a fun ride.
It is. It is.
As always, we'll be back here. Not as always, but we're back here this next Thursday night. Same freaking awesome time.
Same freaking awesome show.
Okay, let's see here. Gotta find the right video to blur. And I think this is it. Boom.